Welcome back, everyone. I am Friar Tuck, and this is my epoch. Okay, so today what I'm going to be talking about is something that is a little different than usual. Those of you that have been following me for a while know that back in 2008, 9, 10, all the way up to about 15, I was fairly involved in the free man movement. And like a lot of those that learn the right way to conduct themselves as a freeman, you kind of just went into the background starting in about 2013 because of the way things were changing. We kind of, in a lot of ways, there were warning bells that were being sounded at the time of at the time that all this stuff was going on. But now that there is an economic collapse, I'm doing a maze, guys. This ought to be interesting. Excuse me. I'm in the library and I'm hearing a conversation, and in this conversation, it is they're talking about changing documentation because stuff was entered in wrongly and this and that, and they were going through, and this guy was going through a lot of the whole conspiracy stuff, and I'm trying not to listen, but the guy's talking so loud I can't help but listen. And I end up hearing this, and I'm like, I went over there and I talked to him. I says, this whole Freeman stuff that you're talking about, because I know what you're talking about. You got to be really careful with it. You can't just run out and use it, because most of the stuff that's out there is misinformation. There's a lot of quality information out there, but most of the stuff out there is greedy people who thought that they would take advantage of people's anger and frustration with the with everything that's going on. And now that we're kind of starting to experience the beginnings of an economic collapse, we may end up... Crap, I think I got turned around. Oops. So we may end up seeing a lot of these people start up again, and you got to be really, really careful that you don't get caught up in this, because no, apparently I was going right. So sorry, I'm like I told you guys, I'm in a maze. So as you see here, you just gotta follow the road. So that's what I'm doing while I'm doing this video. But anyways, this is something that you as an individual, especially loving your country, being patriotic, wanting to do the right thing, knowing that something's wrong and that we got to go back to the basics and stuff like that. There are going to be people that will be preying on that with you, and that is something that you need to guard yourself of. Now, is it false? Is it wrong? No, you guys have heard me talk about some of the things that are right, and what they were talking about is they were talking about how all this the stuff happens in the background and what was going on, which was irrelevant to what the guy was trying to accomplish, because he was just trying to share his information and show that he was that he was competent, which I get it, but he needed to do something real simple, which was it's a process called nunc pro tunc, which means now for then. So if you make a mistake on a document, especially a legal document, you can go through a process. I believe it's a form you need to submit. I've never had to do it, but I do know of the process. But it's real simple. That's how you go and you correct a document and backdate it so that you can make sure that everything went properly. Now, I'm not an attorney. I'm not schooled in law. I do not accept my legal advice, all that stuff. Okay, I got to say that just for reasons, and you guys can kind of figure that out. But at the end of the day, this is something that you guys need to be worried about. And most of the stuff that you used to be able to do, unless you're willing to do something major like a class action and you're willing to go all the way up to the Supreme Court, or you're willing to go and hash it out in a courtroom. See, that's what most people failed to understand. They thought that they had to do it with a police officer, and it's like, no, that's the first process, yes. But when you first meet, because the police officer is an officer of the court, you are that is essentially your grand jury hearing in a lot of ways, where they're deciding whether or not they want to charge you with a crime. And so the officer is required to do an investigation. He has to collect evidence, get facts and all that stuff, and then you go before a judge. And the judge, the further you move up the ladder, the closer you get to the decision maker, those are the people that can make mountains move if they need to make mountains move. That's where your knowledge of process and your knowledge of how things work. For me, I suck at process, but as far as content goes, I've got plenty of gag orders to prove that I am competent enough in what I'm doing. So this is just something that for me, I've already done it, and I'm telling you, it's very dangerous. It is not something that you want to do unless you are willing to spend a decade of your life, just diving into books, because you need to know the core root. You're going to have to learn history, and a lot of it. That's why I know all the history that I know, is because of the learning curve I had to do. And I did it on the fly, and I got lucky. I could have very easily ended up in a not so pleasant place. Okay, so this is just a piece of things that I want to share with you guys. I noticed that I've got some new subscribers over on Patreon. So if you're thinking about hey, I want to contribute to the channel, I want to be able to get a little bit more in depth, you really like the content, and you want to be able to get some better content, or keep whatever your reasons may be, we'll just leave it at that. Come on over to Patreon. My hobo tutorials are $10 a month. It comes with a 7-day free trial, so you can come in there, you can watch some of the videos, and if you like the content, because I do teach quite a bit of stuff that I really don't talk about over here. And yeah, so come on over to Patreon. Also, if you there's other ways to help the channel, but becoming a subscriber, leaving a comment telling me what you think about this. Have you guys already started having content that is coming that is coming to you with some of this stuff? Because a lot of it's been purged off of YouTube, but there's still some stuff left behind, because it was more educational, and they couldn't take it down. So if you guys have questions or comments, you want to chime in on this, I would love to hear your opinion. But I will see you in tomorrow's video. I just wanted to do this as like a beware message, because I'm already starting to hear people talk about it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.